Good morning everybody, welcome to GRB Cam UK. We're here today in sunny Newcastle for the No to Digital ID. Now I'm hoping here is Gray's column. If not, we're in the wrong place. So let's see. It says this column was erected in 1838 to commemorate the services rendered to his country by Charles Earl Grey, who during an active political career of nearly half a century was a constant advocate of peace and the fearless and consistent champion of civil and religious liberty. He first directed his efforts to the amendment of the Representation of the People in 1792 and was the minister by whose advice and under whose guidance the great measure of parliamentary reform was, after an arduous and protracted struggle, safely and triumphantly achieved in the year 1832. Piece of useful or useless information for you there. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back at Gray's Monument, and we have a slightly small crowd starting to build up. It is still early. Let's see, that's what, 10:30, round about 25 past 10, round about that. So yeah, let's see if the numbers do increase. Plenty of space. Yeah, cool. Show you the door. Everybody watching today is in agreement. Say no to digital ID. Just say no. You do comply, then you may as well just put the handcuffs on your wrist yourself. I'm going to walk in a circle right now. So as you can see, ladies and gents, crowds are starting to slowly build up now. You look at that lovely grey sky above us. Listen to this little girl, she has an absolutely amazing voice. She's going to go far with a voice like that. See my face in life, whenever monkey's found I know. Even if it ain't all I'm seeing, I got a baby, I'm peculiar. feel that?
Oh, pretty calm.
Well, starting to feel a little bit of rain here in Newcastle, ladies and gents. Hopefully it doesn't come to much. I do apologise, ladies and gents, about my voice. Got lots of trial. So here we have, I believe, the organisers for today's No to Digital ID just setting up. And here we have the police, first sign of any police today. Come on, everybody. Right, so let's try and get the rest of these in here.
I tend to just post it for that. I'm reading the comments because it takes too much time as well to the end of like. So I'll just post it to try and make it and then if you can try and catch it.
Digital ID, communism, and the end of all freedoms. Reject now. Don't wait for tyranny, it's already here. There goes one of them.
But the flame couldn't go much higher. We find God and religions to make us with salvation, but no.
Ladies and gentlemen, selected, not elected, they're in control, not you. That's what I say to them as well, yeah. The end of financial freedom, Agenda 2030. Oh, sorry buddy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the idiot Starmer and the idiot Blair. And that's that side to both of them. I'm going to walk round in a circle here. Yeah? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll just walk round, didn't I?
She was dancing, she was across at me started smiling.
Huh?
The woman dancing.
Yeah.
Looked across at me smiling and all.
What's this about? Majority.org. If anybody knows what this is about, majority.org, then do let us know. The sun's coming out. Yeah, ladies and gents, if you know what majority.org is, then do please let us know. Maybe. So here we are, everybody. What? Well, ladies and gents, the masks are going on. Then your children will be. That song's quite fitting, isn't it?
Isn't it,
There you go, ladies and gents, read it. Don't let them trap you in. Don't let them trap you in. They're dragging it out, aren't they?
TikTok off of the wall and live the
Everybody alright?
See that, guys?
Just taking photographs of a morning live and background, so you want to go with it.
Give it a start talking.
Brilliant. Everybody around you can hear this. You should be joining us today because we are fighting for your freedom and your children's freedom today. Everything from now on, as soon as that digital ID comes in, that's game over. You won't be able to go anywhere in the city without your face being recognised. All your cash will be stopped if you see a certain thing on Facebook or do something that they don't agree with in government. So that's what we're standing up there to do. We've got a good few speakers today. From UK Column News, we have Diane Rasmussen. Come on, a bit more noise for Diane, come on!
Thank you, yes, thank you. Yeah. That's your foundation.
Hello everyone! Hello! Why is it called Detroit and Newcastle? Anyway, long story, but I am really happy we're now very close to their and today I want to start out. We have a lot to do, right? We have a lot to do, but I don't think we can do any of this without some hope and some love. So what I want you to do is hug everybody around you. Go ahead, give everyone a hug. Give everyone some love, everyone. Give everyone a hug around you now.
Everybody's shy.
Thank you. Okay, everyone happy? Great. So, what are we doing here today? We are protesting digital ID. We have been here before, 5 years ago, 2020. What were we doing? Do you remember this? Resist, defy, do not comply. Resist, defy, do not comply. Resist, defy, do not comply.
Do not comply.
Resist, defy, do not comply. Resist, defy, do not comply. Resist, defy, do not comply. Resist, defy, do not comply. Defy, do not comply.
What were you doing in 2020, 2021? You remember? Vaccine passport, track and trace. Was this a test? Were they trying to get compliance going? Yes, they were. Do we remember? How many complied? I did not comply. Any mask wearers? No. Any test and trace kits? Any jabs? No. None of us did any of it. And we can do the same thing now in 2025 with digital ID. Because that's what they were trying to get us to do 5 years ago. How many more people do we have now with us? How many more people have we seen pass away from the experimental injections they were putting into our
There they are,
friends and
ladies and
families?
gents.
Do we
Think
have more
homeless
people with
person's
us
just
now?
walked up.
But maybe we're not with us
Quite
in
passionate.
2020.
They've just given her
What do you
a
think?
board to hold. Media are masking the truth.
Have we seen enough? Have we seen our children suffer from not being able to go to school because they were supposed to be staying home and protecting granny? How many of us remember that, right? How many of us had businesses ruined, careers destroyed? I lost my university career as a professor because I was speaking out. I refused to accept the £350,000 that the NHS was trying to offer me to push the jabs. Why? Because I have a conscience. And you all do here today, and we need to continue to do this work. How many of us understand what's going on behind digital ID? What are they trying to do? They want to watch everything that we do. And what's dangerous about that is that they will know exactly where we are, what we're doing. Do we want that for ourselves? Do we want that for our children? Do we want that for our families? No! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! 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 So what are they trying to do? Okay. Sorry? Children.
When you got children, right, we're all where they are, you know. So we're going to do the safe and what, you know.
Well, why don't you just ask your children where they are?
Can you ask them when you can find them, you know?
Well, they didn't have digital ID when I was growing up. I'm still alive. Right? Okay, so what happens when they put everything together? When we order something online, when we have a driving license, do you know what happened to me? So as someone who is here in this country legally, I'm already required to have digital ID. Do I have it? Do you know what they've done to us? There's something now that already exists called the e-visa. I have something that's a physical card that says that I have the indefinite leave to remain in this country, which means I'm allowed to be here as long as I want to be. However, that physical card expired in December of 2024. If I wanted to leave the country now, I would have to put a thing on my phone with an app and scan my face and put in my biometrics and show it at the border. Otherwise, I might not be in this country. What's happened to me now? I am not leaving this country because I will not give in to digital ID just to be able to come to the border and show the government that I have given into accepting this as part of my life. What happens when I get to the border? Yeah. What happens when I get to the border? My phone is dead. I can't get into my country. I can't see my friends. I can't get to my dogs. I can't report back to Brian Garish. What am I going to tell Brian? That won't go well. So, what are we going to do? We have to continue to talk about mass non-compliance. Let's say that 20% of us did not take the jabs. We don't really know the actual number. But what if 100% of us had done it? If it hadn't been the 20% of us who stood up and said, no, I am not putting this into my body because I don't know what it is and you're not telling me what is going to go in there, where would we be now? Do you think that we would be out here today enjoying this relatively nice weather and the sunshine? No. It was the 20% of us that stood up and said, I'm not doing it. People like me and others in the community who believe in truth and freedom and gave up their careers, as I did, because I'm here to join the movement and I am here to respect myself and all of you and any of us who still believe in individual freedoms, which we hold as individual people, natural rights, natural law to what we have access to ourselves as people. How many of you are going to continue to go down this route to say, oh well, if that's what he says, then okay, we have to do it? That's probably about 80% of us, right? You think about the bell curve. I was talking about this with my friends a few days ago. Those of us who are the 10% on each side are the ones who are saying no to this. But what are we going to do to get the rest of us on board? What do we think? What do we do? What do we do now? Any ideas? Tell them. Okay, that's what we're doing today. All right, so let's keep telling them. What are we going to do? We're going to talk to our MPs. Will they listen? No, it doesn't matter. We have to do it anyway, right? We talk to our MPs. We write letters. We keep talking about the dangers of what's going on. We have to let people know what's happening. So what do we keep doing? What did we do in 2020? Anyone remember? What did we do? Yep, spread the word. Sell the what? Yep, it's all based on lies, isn't it? Not complying. What are they doing? Yeah. What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to just sit back and wait for this to happen? Are we going to do that?
No.
What are we going to do?
Resist.
Defy. Resist. Defy. Resist. Resist. Defy. Do not comply. Resist. Defy. Do not comply.
Do not comply.
How do we do this? We love each other. This is a spiritual battle we're in, everybody. We have to love each other. We have to give everybody a hug. We have to keep positive. This is what happens. People say, I give them hope on UK Column. If I went up there and I was evil, and I tried to scare people to death, there's a certain person in this particular community up here in the Northeast that we all know well if we go to Airbox. Is he successful? No. I have heard the numbers at Airbox are diminishing. I wonder why. Right? We need a fresh approach. We need to love each other. We need to work together. We need to give out the love and the hope and the spiritual difference that will need to be made if we're going to make a difference, so that those evil people down there at 10 Downing Street don't take over our lives and the individual freedoms that we all possess by just existing, and we have to protect that. Are you willing to help me? Yes. What are we going to do?
Resist. Defy. Do not comply. Resist. Defy. Do not comply. Resist. Defy. Do not comply. Resist. Defy. Do not comply.
Resist. Defy. Do not
comply.
Now, I saw a joke a few days ago that was a meme. I hope it was a meme saying that the reason that Keir Starmer wants us to have digital ID is because it's going to help everyone else fight climate change. Of course it's politics. All politics.
The climate con.
Point, right? How long have we existed in this world without having a thing that's going to identify everything that we do and track everything that we do? We've been okay so far, and I think we're going to continue to be okay. We've been okay without experimental ingestions. We've been okay without putting pieces of papers and nappies over our faces in the past 5 years. I am still alive. I lived in the city of Glasgow in 2020. They were telling me that, Nicola Sturgeon was saying, if you live in the city of Glasgow, you can't travel more than 5 miles from your house. Idiot. So what did I do? I went grocery shopping 6 miles away from my house, and I'm still alive 5 years later. Absolutely ridiculous. They're telling us. And they're using the again. Right? We have to continue to keep moving on, doing whatever we're going to do, ignoring all of it, not doing any of it, setting an example for the rest of our families and friends who have not woken up yet. Because we know there's still a lot out there that still have a lot of work to do. So I don't want anyone else to give up. I want you to keep helping me do this fight. I can't do it alone. It's strength in numbers. Mass non-compliance is the thing that's going to be the most successful. Right? So, who's with me? Who's going to help me? Yes! Let's do it! Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Resist!
Defy! Do not comply!
Thank you all!
Aye.
Let's do it! I am Diane Rasmussen from UK Column. Thank you all for coming out today. I will be around all afternoon. And let's go to the pub later and have fun and love each other and enjoy ourselves, because that's what they do not want us to do. So let's save ourselves. Thank you all. Love you. Thank you.
That, ladies and gents, was Professor Diane Rasmussen. Right.
Which is just going in. Also, they're not that bothered about DigiID in itself, whether it's a smartphone app, whether it's a physical card, whatever. What they're bothered about is a totally interconnected database of all of your information. Now that includes, and this is not a comprehensive list, your NHS number, your NI number, your DVLA information, your passport, banking, now that's not in there yet, and then anything else that is a digitisation, add that to your profile, and the government will have your life in one database. That's what they're interested in the name of security and efficiency. Anybody believe that? Absolute crap. So, what is it they're trying to do then? Well, in 2023, you know, DVLA was put on it. Okay? Also, HMRC, that's in beta test at the moment, and that's going on. So your tax system, everything is starting to go on this database, and they're doing it quietly, building our digital prison, whilst we protest about a digicard. So, first word of warning, don't be fooled by them just talking about one thing. My personal belief is that they're going to ditch this. They're going to announce it and say, actually, we've listened to the public. We're not having a digi-ID after all. Aren't we good as a government because we listen to the people? Yeah? Excuse me, I nearly swore. Apologies, children. But absolutely not a chance that that's correct, because what they're doing is building infrastructure behind the scenes, and they'll just turn it on one day, lock that digital prison. So we've got to be really careful. And this is why I'll lead you to the next thing, which is, well, actually, no, let's go back to something. Who do you think said this? I'm going to quote it. This was the Prime Minister. Said, instead of wasting hundreds of millions on compulsory ID cards, let's put the money into police officers on the streets. Who do you think said that? That was Tony Blair. Ooh. You're allowed to boo, by the way. You are allowed to boo. Thank you. Blair actually said that in 95. The overlord of this digital ID stuff, he said that in 95. And 4 Prime Ministers post that, Conservatives, have said pretty much exactly the same thing. We will not have digi-IDs in the UK. So what's changed? Well, what has changed? All that's changed is the world government now is pushing it right away across all the countries. 100 countries now have it planned or are doing it right now. And you see the impacts, don't you? So, think of it this way. Canada, a couple of years ago, peaceful protesters like all of us, they had their bank accounts frozen simply because they supported the truckers. Bank accounts frozen. Vietnam, 2 months ago, September and October this year, has deactivated 80 million bank accounts. That's 43% of the accounts that existed in Vietnam were deactivated because the owners of those accounts didn't choose to, or didn't get to it, give their biometric data to the government. And they still exist. Those accounts exist. All the assets are frozen until they do the biometric thing. So this is exactly what they're going to do with all of this. They're going to inconvenience us to such an extent that we have to accept this as a norm. We're not going to do that, are we? We don't mind being inconvenienced. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to demonstrate how. Does anybody recognise what this is? It's a cassette tape. Well, what's on it? It's a mixtape. Anybody as old as me and used to do mixtapes in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever? And what do we do when the tape fell out? You got a pencil. A hexagonal pencil, and you spent blooming ages, didn't you, putting that tape back in. 15, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour if it had gone and flattened and you thought, oh my god, why did we do that? Because it mattered, because it had all our favourite songs on. So for the under 40s and the children here, imagine not being able to get your Spotify liked songs anywhere. And you have to re-put it, you can't do that with a pencil, can you? You've got to do it with something else. So you have to inconvenience yourself in order to do that. Which brings me to, how do you deal with your friends and family when they talk about, who's heard the phrase, I don't do anything wrong, so why should I be worried about it? Okay? We all know that one, don't we? We might have even said it ourselves. But how do you deal with it when somebody says that? Now I'm going to try and do something from Newcastle in a moment, but I had 2 examples here. First, given that the HMRC is in there and the DVLA, it's already on the database, what would happen if your bank forgot or didn't manage to send that data to the HMRC, and so all your data was frozen because apparently, according to the government, you hadn't paid your taxes? That's not paranoia, that's just digital dependency between all of the systems. Secondly, I'll read this one. What would happen if you had a speeding fine? So your DVLA over here recognised that you had a speeding fine you hadn't paid. And this is my Newcastle one. It's the Gallagate end, isn't it? If you're a Toon fan, it's the Gallagate end where you get to. Imagine your ticket stopped in the turnstile. You go, what the hell's that? You were locked out of it because you hadn't paid a speeding fine. The DVLA had data on you which was inside the central database which attached to that. That's the sort of thing that could do. You can shout at me for this one. I was a banker for 37 years. Boo again, go on. But I know just how easy it was to cancel a customer's account. It would take about 10 seconds. That's one customer. And you would not be able to get into your account. Imagine that level of power being in the government, anywhere. Imagine it being on an algorithm. The government had nothing to do with it. There was an algorithm that said, right, if this person did this, it could be your drunken retweet. Might be alright now, might be treated as banter now, mightn't it? But in the future, then that could be something that the government do not like, and they just lock you down. So when you're talking to your friends and family, you might, some of them might have electric cars. God knows why, but some of them might have electric cars. How would they handle their lives if that electric car just stopped? Because they've done more than 250 miles a week. That might be in the algorithm. Use as many examples for what they have, not for what they do today, but what they might do tomorrow. Because that's what it is. That's the mission creep, isn't it? Have we seen any other mission creep of late? So here's a good question for you again. Some might have a bit of higher, higher, lower, lower on here now. In 2023, Online Safety Act came in. Francie was slightly late on this one, but how many people do you think were arrested in the UK for communications offences? You've read the stuff? Absolutely right. This gentleman over here, bang on. 12,000. Russia only had 3,300, and they got twice the population. So take that back, that's 33 people every single day. Neighbours, friends, whoever, who were visited by the police, taken down to the cells, and they were charged. Well, not all of them were charged, but 12,000, 33 a day. You see the videos, don't you? There's 2, 3, 4, 5 officers going in there. That's your taxpayer money. It's your money, just for communications offences. That's the mission creep that's happening from Online Safety Act. So can you imagine what's going to happen when we all have, if we ever get there, is a digital ID. If that database exists, this is the real danger, and it's coming. So, let's not be all doom and gloom about it. What can we do now? So I've demonstrated how we got over it through human ingenuity with our mixtapes. We managed to fix those, didn't we? How do we fix it now? So, I see it over there. Raise that, raise that. Thank you. Cash is king. Cash is king. Absolutely. It can't be traced, it can't be tracked, it can't be frozen, and it can be used in most sensible shops. What a shame this lovely shop over here doesn't take it, so we all walked out. And that's what we do. Cash is king, but you have to use it. I have friends and family who go, oh yeah, that's fine, isn't it? Because at the back of my wallet, I have a spare 80 quid. So no, that's not how it works. How it works is you use the cash, and you have your bank card as your emergency, just in case that thing is a little bit more expensive. That's the way you do it. The more everybody uses cash, the better it will be. And just forget CBDCs, whatever happens. Kick them into touch. So, first of all, cash is king. Second, minimise your digital footprint. Now, I mentioned DVLA is on here. So, I changed address last week. So I had to change it on DVLA. And I went and thought, this is the easy way, isn't it? Gov.uk, One ID login. And I have one of those because I had to do a tax return for a few years. And I thought, principles mine, you've got to abide by your principles. So I went to the post office, got a form, filled the form in, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on the envelope, and put it in the post box. And my address is still getting changed. It's just I did not use the gov.uk ID. They will not convenience me to think that this is the norm. So everybody has to think about it. Do you really need that app? Do you really need to do it that way? Do you really need to go to the supermarket and use your bank card? Why don't you just go to the local shop, who's probably, their children probably go to school with your children? Go and do that and encourage every single person to do it. If you can do that, then the cash is king, your digital footprint will be less, and their whole system becomes obsolete. At the most it will become obsolete, but at least they're going to have 20-30% of the population who aren't using it. And that's the way. So even if they bring this stuff in, even if they have the database, we can still beat it. So the third, I think Diane talked about MPs earlier on. did a little bit of research. Your guys have got 3 Labour people here, haven't you? All of whom had about 50% of the votes. I checked out their record. They all cautiously support digital IDs. Cautiously support. What does that mean? Well, I reckon it means that because they've got the Labour whip, they don't really agree with it, but they're going to vote the same way that Starmer votes because they want to keep the whip and keep their job. So I would say, go and talk to them, go and ask them, is that what they're going to do? Are they going to vote for this? Are they going to follow Davos, Starmer, all that stuff, or are they actually going to follow the will of the people here and vote against it? So you go and ask them, every single one of you ask them. If one person asks, you don't know whether you're the 1,000th, the 10,000th, the 100,000th person. It tips the balance. So don't think, well, maybe not. You've got to do it. Go and talk to them and find out. But if, as I probably think, that they will follow Starmer, this is where I'm going to ask you for your vote. Vote for the independents, proper independents like Freedom Alliance, people who put it out there that tell you digital IDs should be gone. Digital infrastructure should be used in the right way but not connected. It's the connections that are the problem. So, we're not Luddites in technology, we love technology, but technology should not control the people. We should control the technology and use it in the right way. I'm going to close now that the sun's come out. It's warmer than it was to start with, thanks guys. But I'm going to close by saying, I asked you for 3 things. Yeah? First of all, take that warning, look elsewhere. When they're showing you this, look at this. Secondly, spread the word. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, and just see what is it about their lives that would cause them problems. Because if they don't agree with you there, you can't bludgeon them into it. They have to understand when it arrives at their door, it really hurts. Then they'll support us. Pressure your MPs and then vote for genuine independence, because if we don't all act now, all of us act now, we'll wake up one day to a digital prison that nobody voted for at all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Martin. Now, one of the things that Martin referred to there was world government. Now, a lot of people don't get the idea and are a little bit like the way I was, a bit naive 5 or 6 years ago, when you have this idea that individual nations develop organically, that you have France against Germany and India competing with Australia and all the rest of it. It's all a theatre. Does anybody not know who the World Economic Forum is?
Yes.
Okay, the World Economic Forum is a billionaires and trillionaires club. Now they were totally unelected, and all governments are under their rule. Up until recently, the mouthpiece Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum was proud to boast that he'd penetrated every government on earth. Okay? Now just ask yourself what that means. The people who you see as your leaders are just puppets of a billionaires club. Now, you don't have to go back very far, maybe it's about a year or something, to when Keir Starmer was being interviewed by Emily Maitlis on the BBC, and she asked him a question. She said, if you have a choice to make, and it's between Westminster and Davos, what's your decision? Without taking a breath, he said Davos. At that particular point, he should have been arrested for treason.
Hear, hear.
And this is how everything operates. It's the modular patience. Now then, all of this, or most of this, started off for many of us about 5 years ago, with the many who were on the first protest back in, I think, late 2020, just down there by the Theatre Royal. I think there was about 80 of them, and then we had a few more after that, a couple with big numbers, but nothing like the numbers that we had down in London. Now that there was one of those marches where it was estimated in some people's calculations to be almost 1 million people protesting. Can you believe that? Whatever the figures were, it was the largest ever protest in Britain. The largest ever. And we have here with us today the person who organised these marches. Can you please give a huge welcome, Fiona Rose Diamond?
Hello Newcastle! I'm a bit nervous, and I've actually written my speech down because I think this message is so important. I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want to swear, and I don't know if there's any kids, but I don't want to offend anyone. I do that a lot. But it's really great to be here in Newcastle, and last weekend I was in Cardiff and I got one hour sleep the night before. And the week before that, obviously, I was in London. I'd organised the mass non-compliance protest against digital ID. And the thing is, when we were marching, there were thousands at the beginning, maybe 2,000, 3,000, and thousands joined us along the way. Windy in Newcastle, isn't it? Thousands joined us along the way. It's no exaggeration. People walked out of the shops on Oxford Street to walk with us. And it feels surreal to be protesting about something that people actually agree with. After being vilified for 5.5 years, it feels really, really powerful, and it feels like unity, and it feels like hope. And it's because of that that I know that we're going to win this war. Keep moving. So I am going to speak quickly because I don't have time to be anything other than brutally honest. And to know how to win, we need to know what we're fighting. So most of you already know the origins of this plan, the drive to build a digital infrastructure designed for total control. It's far more than a smart ID or a convenient app on your phone. It's the backbone of a system that will track, manage and monetize every aspect of your life. Still, let's start there, because it's only when the headlines break that the wider public begins to stir. The so-called mandatory digital ID brick card announcement came from Keir Starmer just 2 days before the Labour conference on the 26th of September. It didn't surprise any of us here, but it sent the internet and the press into a frenzy, as if they weren't part of the act all along. Campaigners started campaigning, dissenting MPs start tweeting and signing open letters about this brick card and calling it Starmer's plan, Starmer's digital ID, parroting that it's driven by Tony Blair, but it's not. Tony Blair, while a globalist zealot, a general contributor to the World Economic Forum, a man who believes there's too many people on the planet, an evil, warmongering, hollow vessel of malice, devoid of conscience, is not even the top player, criminals. He's not even the top player. But this plan has been years in the making, written down in the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, a plan agreed to in lockstep by 193 countries on behalf of almost every single citizen in the world. Our morally bankrupt leaders in government signed away our lives, masquerading as the voices of nations. The cruel irony is that not one of them speaks for the people they claim to represent. They sold us out for power and profit, and they call it leadership. They make their sustainable development goals sound so admirable, claiming to solve every problem in the world: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being. Tidy, humanitarian and moral sounding on the surface, with their flowery jargon like sustainable, equity and inclusion, while they reshape governance on a global scale. But the United Nations is nothing more than a moral cover for the same global power networks that shape policy from the shadows. The World Economic Forum and its web of strategic partners, backed by financial muscle of giants like BlackRock, Vanguard and the Rockefeller Foundation. None of them are elected, none of them are accountable, yet their influence reaches into every corner of government and public life. This isn't contained to one country, it's coordinated on a global scale. A national digital ID is not just a UK story. Governments across the world are rolling out identical systems to build an international framework that these supranational bodies can monetize and ultimately control. In short, it's the architecture for total digital domination. Every transaction, every movement, every aspect of our lives managed through a system none of us ever consented to. These unelected supranational elites want control over everything. The air we breathe, the land beneath our feet, the oceans that connect us, and the food that sustains us. Every aspect of life, every service, every human being absorbed into a system none of us ever agreed to. Laid out as Sustainable Development Goal 16, as peace, justice and strong institutions, lies within Target 16.9. A legal identity for all, the moral stick that paves the way for global governance. It's not about controlling violence, corruption and injustice as they'd have you believe, it's about controlling us. And digital ID makes it possible. Without digital ID, their plan for total control through the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets would be impossible to achieve. Picture the future they're building, every movement, every transaction, every breath, monitored and managed. What you eat, when you eat, how you spend, where you go, all logged, scored and sanctioned. Geofencing will dictate your boundaries, digital ID will be the key that locks the cage. It will not open it again. And once it's in place, the slide into dystopian nightmare won't be gradual, it will happen in a blink. It might sound like science fiction or the plot of a dystopian novel, but it isn't. It's written down, mapped out, and already in motion. The tracks are laid, the train is moving, and it's up to us to stop it before it reaches the station. I really want the public walking by to listen to this as well. That's why I write what I write here, because I know you guys already know this, and that's why you're out fighting today. And I'm so pleased to be standing here with you today. I'm going to cry in a minute. I don't want to, but I want the public to listen to this. This is not conspiracy, this is fact. Anyway, we've been right about everything since 2020, and I'm speaking plainly now because I no longer have the time, the patience, nor the inclination to tiptoe around people's comfort zones. I'll be damned if I'm dragged into a dystopian nightmare through ignorance and blind faith in government. So please, I implore everyone, take accountability for your own knowledge. Know thine enemy and know their plan. Go to massnoncompliance.com and encourage others to do so too. Our job now is to inform, encourage, educate and empower, not with platitudes or half-truths, but with hard evidence, with receipts and the entire plan exposed for what it is. So before I step down, let's just be clear about something. Digital ID isn't coming, it's already here. The UK government's One Login is the de facto digital ID system. It's been active since 2021 and more than 11 million people have already used it to verify their identity digitally to engage with government services. Don't be distracted if they quietly drop the brick card label. It was never about convenience or proving your right to work or rent. It's about creating a single centralised system of control. They're already expanding its scope because the plan is written. The route may change, but the destination remains the same. They can scrap the brick card and pretend it's a democratic decision, but the system is already here. Company directors are being pushed into it. Veterans are being required to use a digital veterans card. The brick card would simply have been another token on the same platform, just a different name for the same control mechanism. Starmer's already called it a convenient way to access your money. But when programmable, blockchain-based, central bank digital currency arrives, that convenience will reveal itself for what it is, total control. Every transaction tracked, every purchase logged, every choice monitored, and with one switch they could turn off not just your money, but your life. The wallet is already here. The infrastructure is in place. They're trialling and expanding its uses as we speak. The framework exists. The legislation is written and more is on the way. We won't escape this through a loophole or a technicality. Mandatory might not mean law, but it's coming all the same. Importantly, We must stop looking to MPs and Westminster or to any new shiny parties for salvation. They're not running the show, they are the show. The real power lies with unelected globalist organisations and NGOs, bankrolled by the ultra-rich. To them, we're little more than expendable consumers, useless eaters, destined, if they succeed, to be equally poor and equally controlled. And we must fight it, we must not comply, we must inform others. People must understand they have a choice. We must encourage mass non-compliance. So on the 13th of December, I'll be hitting the streets of London again to protest and to demonstrate our mass non-compliance. And if you can come, I know it's a long way, but please do. Because as I keep saying, it's worth repeating, they fear the people, but they fear us most when we stand together. And also visit massnoncompliance.com for 100 ways to resist digital ID and the infrastructure starting from today. This isn't all doom and gloom. Far from it, actually. My faith is absolute. It does not waver and it does not bend. We will win this fight that defines us. I've been saying that this is the hill to die on, but I definitely see it different now. This is the hill we stand on. This is the hill we hold. This is the hill we do not surrender. This is the hill that we win on. And we will prove once and for all that the people have more power than the people in power.
Thank you very much, Fiona Rose Diamond. Absolutely. Right, I remember in all this, what we're going to try to do is divide everybody up. Everyone naturally cares about everyone else. I know that sounds very hippie-ish and dreamy, but it's true. But what they're trying to do is to try to turn everyone against each other. So when they have these debates of the left versus right, or accusing you of being racist or homophobic, remember it's just a device to divide us up. We have to get everybody in on this fight. Now, like I said, we have lots of posters around here. Please come in and have a look at them. We'll get a light paper and hopefully give it to someone who needs to hear it. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you.
We've got hundreds of white papers here, packed with leaflets on digital ID. I've also got a box of leaflets on digital ID as well. So when we march, we always like to try and distribute as much leaflet information and leaflets and papers to the public as possible. So it's too much for me to carry on the march. We don't really know what we're going to do with them. So if anybody wants to help, just maybe grab some leaflets, grab some papers, take them with you, hand them out to the public, offer them to the public when we go, then please come and help. Even if you don't intend to hand out, it would be good for, if there's any spare, any excess papers and leaflets, it would be good if you could just pick some up and carry them along, and then somebody will come and take them off you, or you can give them to somebody who is distributing, just so we don't leave it here, we go to waste because we can't carry them. Okay, thank you guys, thank you everyone.
And we are the righteous! Would you like me to shout it? Says a shouter. We're feeling like a shout about Newcastle. Check your pedestrian crossings. Newcastle City Council have deployed an illegal Chinese biometric sensor on all pedestrian crossings. Now illegal. Tracking people illegally using biometric sensors for rules are brought to short.
He's going to walk down this bed flag.
All the comers, they won't be injected, be dead soon. SQ40. Everybody sit out here. In the 60s, in every single culinary injectable, it's a biometric tracker. Guess what? If you're tracking through the pedestrian crossing, and they're going to have to be S340, and you'll be dead within 3 months. The current term cancer. So you see when you've got friends and family dying of cancer, 3,750 people died in the North Cumbria area suddenly. They suddenly just dropped down dead from the injection of a biological weapon, which North Cumbria police knew about, because I sent them all the documentary evidence. The patent where they developed it, 14 acres was developed the name for yourself for weapons lab in China.
There you go, ladies and gents. So escape the digital prison, say no to digital ID. Please visit www.britishlionsforfreedom.com.
Your digital ID is in prison. It's already, as Fiona said before, it is already up and running. St. Barney City, electronic killbox. We've got court cases going on next year. Blade runners chopping them down because it's a weapon system. Battlefield weapon system called Fusion. All over Newcastle, all over Birmingham, all over Leeds, all over this country. We are being under attack from the state actors, mostly the PMS, the Chinese, who have infiltrated the British government at a very high level. The Polish Warning Group. Who's one of the main components? Tony Blair! Tony Blair! Mr. Man was sent his called Mandy, that's what he used to call him in university. Pedophiles, pedophiles, child sex offenders who are in positions of power in this country. Never been arrested by the police. I've been arrested plenty times. I've been arrested plenty. You stay away from us in a minute, because I can tell you now. The last time I got interviewed at Port police station, I asked the interview cop if he was recording the interview. He said, yeah. I said, no. I said, are you recording the interview? You know what you're talking about? I said, you have that COVID-19 injection. He went, yeah. I said, you do too. It's got a graphite ferritic nanometer material antenna, and you're recording this for the 5G wireless body area network. Because the dual employment terrorist people in the world, but they're not that sick. You see, the coppers who try and pretend that that thing is done. Just had a conversation with Rita from the corner there before. Nicked off. What happened? They couldn't handle the fact Operation Terror, Operation Norton, the police were told to stand down on any injury or some death. They're criminals! They're part of a criminal conspiracy to commit mass murder! They have no authority! They're not the police! They couldn't be the police because the police were not to rule the law. They also are here to protect the public. Well, they didn't protect the public from the bioweapon.
I believe it.
What?
She's
They
from
let
the
them get injected and they told you that they didn't know.
Really?
I'm not talking about the ordinary nuance out
What's got
rats.
to get rid of it?
Yes, you get picture there.
I'm talking about the chief constable.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fair North Cumbria, Kevin McGinnis.
She's doing Birmingham.
What?
The
She's doing
Hanover
Birmingham.
Next week, yeah.
She's doing Camp Ben. I said, yeah, she's
The
fighting.
fact that the bioweapon is coming out
I seen them
in America on four
But I'll get
I'll
her next week.
I had a bit of a panic. Because once all those arrest warrants start getting sent out, I've got to do with mine.
Yeah.
So
International arrest warrants, because you've got to remember, there's no time limit on genocide. None.
she should have won it.
No time limit. You've got plenty of time to arrest these criminals.
Yeah.
Well, they've got to arrest them or something. If the police can't do it, they're going to have to stand down.
Half my hair.
That's right.
If they can't uphold the law, we will have to. We'll have to do the law. We'll have to do the law. They can't. But we know they can't. We know that they can't do that job because they're in fear. The police have been told at a high level, don't let the public know the bioweapon. Otherwise, what will happen will lose control. And guess what? You'll not lose control. Do not look on the top of your pedestrian crossings. Coming into Newcastle, there's a laser weapon in all the junctions. It's called Eurostrike. Chinese controlled the laser weapon masturbators in the NPR camera. You see, the cover, you know what the NPR camera looks like. They're on the back of a traffic cop car. Have a look. It's the size of a box of chocolates. That thing hanging on top of a post, 7 kilo. Thank God for the Blade Runners chopping them down so we could go down and actually have a look inside it. It's a weapon system. It's an electronic assault weapon because someone's planning something very, very nefarious. Because you see, once they kill all the coppers, once they kill all them, they need something to control the population. And that's what they're doing. Electronic assault weapons right away across Newcastle, right away across Birmingham, Leeds, Birmingham, everywhere in the country, London in particular. We've got several court cases next year. We're going to see them in court, and we're going to see them try and explain why were the ones to deploy as a masquerade transport infrastructure that will kill and injure, and is already injuring eye damage, cataracts, heart attacks. Since the deployment in London, breathing difficulties have went up by 30%. These are 999 calls where people can't get their breath. Heart attacks up 20%. Guess what? Your public authorities, heads down, arses up, ready to get kicked up the arse. We're not going to allow that. We're going to stop them. Because we've got all the evidence now that we require and need to take private prosecutions against these criminals. And we will see justice! We don't need these people in uniforms to assist us because they have already broken the law. They're already in breach of their oath of office. They're run by pedophiles, child murderers. That's who run these lots. That's who their bosses are. That's who give them their orders. Cult members. So, you can see why they really didn't want me talking today. I should have to shout today. God bless everybody. We will have justice.
Come here.
I looked round and you were gone. All the details are on here, she said.
So we're still here at the Grace Monument, Newcastle. We're just waiting now to start the march. Don't know what route we're going to be taking, but I need to walk. My legs are absolutely killing me.
It's an international club that's working towards hemming us in. They're basically working on a trap, and the trap works on things like people who don't realise, has everybody noticed how disgraceful the state of the roads are? Yeah? You can't drive more than a few metres without risking having your car smashed up. Now that's not just something in this area, It's not just something in this country, that's across the world. Now that's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Now what does that do when you combine it with pedestrianised areas and places where you can't park? They're trying to get us initially out of our own owned vehicles. That's the first thing. So whenever you see anything on newspapers, if you look at the Chronicle and you see little stories, if you know the bigger picture, you can start to join up the dots. And all of the dots at the moment, have you seen where they're announcing more roadworks at the far end of town? Okay, I've been putting out memes on social media for months now to say, watch out for these spontaneous roadworks and road closures. Everything is to do with making you obedient to 15-minute cities. Now, I don't know whether 15-minute cities have been mentioned much, but it's high on the agenda of the World Economic Forum, where basically, as with everything else, they try to feed it to you as if it's for your benefit. It's all for you, it's all for your convenience, it's all for your safety, everything is for you. Yeah, well I think we've got the rights to that one. So we have to be very, very careful about everything that we see and be able to transfer that information to the people who still don't get the message. Because there are many, many more people who are starting to wake up now to this corruption, shall we say. It goes deeper than that. But we have to fight back against it. Now, there are lots of little posters around here. There are people going around handing out the light paper. So at the moment, we're just waiting on a speaker who, surprise, surprise, is being held up by the traffic. Yep, what a surprise. Probably trying to come over a Tyne Bridge or something, which is due to be closed off. Great, isn't it? So when she comes, hopefully we can give her a rousing welcome. But until then, please hang around. Oh, that's almost the same. Okay, we'll just give her a few moments to catch her breath, and then we'll see her in a moment. Thank you very much. Everybody stay where you are. Don't go away.
I would need 3 people holding the bottom at the front. Yes, you need 3 people to hold it. We've got 3 people at the front about washing with banner. I won't be able to get to it sometimes. Right, he's ready? We're all going to start moving now. We need the banner at the front. We need the banner at the front. All the boards behind. No, we need to move like this.
They've already radioed in which way we're going.
Right, he's all ready. We're going to start moving. Sorry. Lakes. Yes. Defy! Ladies and gents, I'm not going to let them in here. We'll stop them at the door.
That's a public space. Come on, people. Come on, come on.
Do
Susie, I'll be here and then I won't catch up. I'll catch up with you. Cheese! Cheese! She's camera shy. We say no to digitality! We say no to digitality! We say no to digitality! So ladies and gents, that's the march just done. As you can tell, I'm a little bit out of breath here. But, yeah, I think the message is getting across.
Digital ID! We say no to 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 digital ID! We say no!
Tell me what Papa's fucking... Yeah.
Of course.
I said to her, of all the people to grab, 2 command girls.
Yeah.
She was kicking off.
No, no.
And you didn't get to be you, it didn't come on you, and she was going, you work for us.
Yeah.
You work for us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go on.
And it's been some fun.
Oh my God.
And I'm right at the beginning. Do you want to make our way now then?
What?
Do you want to make our way now? We'll just close it down now.
So what do you think? That's done now, yeah?
Live on it.
Hmm. Did you promote your speech?
No, but it's all coming back.
All right.
There's people taking photos and everything if you want it themselves.
Yeah.
When they said I need 3 people to go in front of the banner, I thought, fuck it. Didn't think we were going to run into the caucus like that,
No.
right?
No, because you're not allowed inside there, are you?
Well, there's some reason it's a side end.
There were then 2 coppers at the start. They could have done anything, but then there was 4 or 5 of them came in the line.
There was like 6 of them.
There's no, if there was only 2, they were getting through.
But they grabbed her.
Yeah.
And they grabbed me and pushed me to the side. So I think, oh, you've fucking got all this. That's like 1,000,000% content, just there.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but when he asked, who his bald bloke was, and he said, I just need
Oh dear. So that is us done for the day. The no march for no digital ID in Newcastle is over. It went pretty smooth, apart from coppers trying to stop everybody getting into the shopping centre. Just going to make my way back to the car now, go to the hotel and get some food in my belly. So that's it from me. Over and out.
I think we've all sobered up to what the truth of that is now. Now the biggest line in the sand that we face, and that's on a lot of these cards here now, is digital ID. This is the final thing that we have to stop. People will talk about, yeah, we're on databases. Yeah, that's true, but we've never been on databases where there's no cash, where everything is based on credit. Your credit will be allocated to you on obedience. They're also going to bribe people with telling them that they're going to give them something like 10,000 to stop their wallet off. What these people have to realise, that isn't £10,000, that is credit with terms on it and it expires. So we have a big message to get out today. Before I hand you over to the next speaker, I'll just say that everyone should be aware of the documentary The Agenda, Their Vision, Your Future, which itemises all of this in detail. Now, one of the people contributing to that is Catherine Austin Fitz. Now, Catherine Austin Fitz was a senior investment banker and had senior roles in 2 presidential administrations. And as she says on the video, the general population cannot fathom the psychopathy of the vision that they're facing. They cannot fathom that a group of people would organise and engineer such a mass atrocity to get to where they want to be. And this is what we have to head off. We have various speakers today. Now our next speaker is from Freedom Alliance. Please welcome Martin Davies.
Thanks very much. And apologies I've got paper, my memory is not as good as these guys, but I've got some important things to say, so I want to make sure we do that. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because that is the correct term for everybody who's here, now and in the future.
Yep.
Thanks first of all for coming here and standing here. It was quite nice earlier on, wasn't it? Somebody said the sun was going to come out. I said in Newcastle, never. But it's great to be here and standing here together to consign to history digital ID for the UK. consigned to history, never to be seen again, and that's what we've got to do this time. Make sure they never try to get it back. So, I just want a round of applause, by the way, for Diane and the UK column. How long have they been doing this for us? 20 years! 20 years this year. Thank you so much to everybody that's been doing that. Telling the truth, unbiased views. Brilliant. So as I say, it's Martin Davis. I am from Freedom Alliance. The Freedom Alliance Party was born out of the lockdown madness. So we're quite a young political party. And we are just ordinary people, the same as you, who have been to protest, and they are such an important thing. But we felt they needed a political foot in the door as well. So we started that. We're still all volunteers, we still have jobs, still do it part-time. But we've got a political, and my lovely wife is getting blown away with that flag, which is about twice the height of her. So if you see her floating across on that, please let me know. So, hands up here who think they know everything about DigiID, or enough about DigiID and the risks to it. Let's have a show of hands. Because I feel like I'm going to be preaching to the choir. I'm more interested in those people who have come who don't know everything about it. Hands up those who have just come because it's an interesting Saturday. Brilliant. Thank you for being so open-minded and coming on here. You're the people we need to talk to. So I want you to take three things away. I'm going to talk about three things in the next 10 minutes. The first one is a warning, and the warning is about the government's sleight of hand with DigiID. I'll come back to that. Second thing, how to talk to your friends and family if they still don't understand it. Because I know that's a real toughie, isn't it, at times. Third, and this may be anathema to a lot of people here, is why your vote matters. Now, I'm in a political party, I'm bound to say something about that, aren't I? But there is a very good reason why. So first, the warning. Government, then, has given us, all its truthers then, something to hang on to with DigiID. The quid card, if I can talk about it like that. And they've said, here you go, get your mitts around that, protest it, do all this stuff. And they're doing a magician's trick over here. Over here is DigiID. Over here, things like the children's well-being and schools bill.
Oh dear. So that is us done for the day. The no march for no digital ID in Newcastle is over. It went pretty smooth, apart from coppers trying to stop everybody getting into the shopping centre. Just going to make my way back to the car now, go to the hotel and get some food in my belly. So that's it from me. Over and out.